I'm ready.
And it's on.
It's on, Some Guy and John. I'm John. This is Some Guy.
This is Some Guy, and we're at episode number 40.
40. Good God.
Justice League.
Our episodes are middle-aged now. But it's okay, we're doing Justice League.
Which means we'll make it to 80 at least. I'm hoping.
Let's see. There surely will be enough superhero movies for that.
At least my latest fashion acquisition was a skeleton, so I don't know. We'll see.
We are not alone. We again, of course, at the Imperial again, with Adam and Rachel.
Hello.
Hi.
And we because you guys saw it last time.
Yeah.
So we just came from seeing it a little while ago. We got around to seeing Justice League, and Guy's already laughing because he's got problems. I can tell. Yeah. I liked it. I could say this right off the bat. I liked it better than I thought I was going to like it.
Yeah, I did too.
I went in with very low expectations. I know Rachel did too.
Such low expectations, like down on the ground expectations.
But yet you had to have a little bit of glimmer of hope because Wonder Woman was so good.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman was really good. Not a perfect movie, but way better than the other ones that came out recently.
I'm the one person I think who liked Man of Steel.
No, not true. I like Man of Steel too.
I did too.
I like that movie a lot, man. I stick up for that movie.
I actually argued with internet people about the logic of the end.
A Man of Steel?
Yeah, because you understood the logic of the end, right? I have to fight Zod to stop him because if I go anywhere else, he's just going to rip apart the planet.
Right.
That's it.
No,
people literally didn't understand that.
I didn't see that.
Superman should have went to the moon so Zod would fight him there. Zod wasn't. Zod wasn't after Superman.
I didn't hear those complaints. I heard the complaints of this movie moves too slow. This is too much of a moody, depressed, gloomy Superman. And I thought we got enough of emo Superman with Bryan Singer's Superman Returns bullshit movie. I thought we had enough of emo Superman. Those are the complaints I heard. Not very specific. I heard very much like this is a slow movie. Well, kind of like how Batman v Superman is a very slow.
Well, there were a lot of complaints about how he doesn't know what he's doing. He's not Superman. I'm like, it's his first fucking day.
Hey, I like that movie. I'll always stick up for that movie. I think that movie was way better than anybody who tears it down. That movie was really, really good. I liked it. At least I think so. But this movie, I didn't really know exactly what to expect because from the people that brought you Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman, which again, plot holes you can drive trucks through.
Oh yeah.
But also the same studio with Patty Jenkins at the helm of that one, Wonder Woman, which was actually really good. And didn't take 4 hours of exposition to explain what was going on.
Wonder Woman was a good, solid movie. This one was kind of like.
This one was kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
It had some really good moments, and it had some moments where you were just like, what?
Yeah.
Why?
There were definitely some places to pause.
It definitely didn't drag the way that Batman v Superman.
No,
But it didn't drag in almost the wrong way.
Do we give Joss Whedon? Probably we got to give him credit for that.
Maybe.
No, because we've seen the Zack Snyder movies. They drag the fuck on. They take forever. Every single one is an epic.
The plot holes were not nearly as ginormous as the ones in Suicide Squad.
Well, there's one huge plot hole in this movie. Like what the fuck?
There were definitely plot holes in this movie. However, this one for me had a handicap because not that long ago, for my B-Day, I got a Hulk movie, Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Love that.
We'll get to that.
We'll see if we get to that.
We'll see. But
we'll see. I don't know if this is going to be a 4 hour long, which we won't even be around in this bar for that long. But coming from that, which is a great movie. Hard to not want to try to compare it a little bit for me, especially when I see the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know?
It was a very similar bad guy.
Kind of a similar thing.
Yeah.
So for that, I'm like, well, Marvel did it better, but hey, good try.
Yeah, well, it's like good effort. But...
Well, you see, that's the thing. On everything on this movie, even like the bad parts, I'll still say good effort.
Yeah.
Because I clearly see them learning from their mistakes. And you know what? I gotta judge them by that low bar. fine, I'll do it. I don't want to do it, but I'll judge them by that low bar. They're learning from their mistakes, which they fucking didn't with Suicide Squad.
But, I'd almost say too slowly. But given how the production schedule has gone, it's like
someone needs to explain to them the meaning of the words tonal inconsistency.
That would be that would be Patty Jenkins.
No, Patty Jenkins. Well, she can explain. No, but she can. There was no tonal inconsistency in Wonder Woman, but in
that's
Batman
what I'm saying.
Superman and
that I know that's who should explain it to them. But
she did such a good job.
She did such a good job. But again, that was Warner Brothers saying we're gonna let her kind of do more things, and we're not gonna let Zack Snyder just come in as the producer and just kind of push her around. So she made Wonder Woman a good movie. They've since said that Warner Brothers is going to take way more creative control in these movies. Because they've learned their lesson from handing it to Zack Snyder all the time and saying, "You did 300, everybody loves 300. Yeah. Let's make those kind of, but DC comic book movies versions." They've since
didn't even do that.
They've since learned their lesson because they had to get started with him. It's still billed as a Zack Snyder movie. Joss Whedon is only listed in there as one of the guys who's like story by credit. Screenplay by, right. And it's still listed as a Zack Snyder film because he still had the bulk of the directing. Yeah. Technically, he gets the credit. Yeah. But you can definitely tell at some point they were like, all right, Zack, get out of here, take a vacation. Yeah. We're making a decision as the studio to hire Joss Whedon, who costs an arm and a fucking leg.
Well, no, don't you remember why Zack stepped down?
Yeah, I know. But he was still saying he could have gotten there, and he could have. And he was still saying that, like, well, I had this tragedy in my life.
This is a... wait. Let's take a step back. It's not a tragedy. My daughter committed suicide.
That's a tragedy.
Yeah, but it's not as trivial as you seem to be making.
I'm saying that the story that you all read, I promise you, isn't 100% true. It never is when they're talking about paying this guy millions of dollars and wrapping up an entire cinematic universe under him, which they seem to be doing.
As much of a tool as I think Zack Snyder is, I don't think he's such a tool that if that would happen to his daughter happens, he still would want to.
I think a big part of it was also his wife, who was a producer on the film. I think a big part of it was her saying,
see, that I buy.
I can't do this, and I need you to not do this with me. I need you to be home with me.
That I buy.
So I hear what you're saying about you think there may have been some pressure from Warner Brothers.
I think so.
I think probably a lot of it just came from Deborah.
I buy that too. But we'll never know. Yeah. I do know that DC spent a pretty penny to hire somebody from their direct competitor.
Yeah.
They did it right. They actually did. They did the Marvel thing. They hired the best person for the job.
They didn't call Patty Jenkins. They didn't call Tim Burton. They didn't call anybody in their wheelhouse.
Oh God, can you imagine they called Tim Burton? Jesus.
Fine. They didn't call Joel Schumacher. They didn't call Christopher Nolan. They didn't call any of those people. If you notice, they called from the direct.
Because who do you think of when you think of ensemble cast?
Exactly.
You don't think of Nolan. I can't think of a Nolan movie that's not about that's about more than three people.
So they're not so. Well, these are our people. Zach's one of our guys.
Yeah.
No, they say we're gonna go poach from the other team. They know what they're doing, and we're gonna spend a fortune on getting him over here to rework this.
But let's
take make it lighthearted, and they did.
Should we sum up the movie, the plot line of the movie?
You want to get the IMDb out? Who wants to do it?
I'll do it. I think it's already on.
I have only seen it once.
That's okay, so have I.
But we talked about it last night.
That's okay. We'll do the IMDb.
As well as we could.
I think, I think they clearly said we need to do what Marvel's doing.
And that's not a problem.
No, it's not. But it definitely wasn't. It definitely wasn't their first idea because they come from a camp of we're DC, we're dark, we do dark things. Marvel does all the goofy, funny, one-liner jokes, and everything's brightly colored, and we're dark and we're mysterious and we have problems. And all of our characters come from dead parents. And
I have a very, very short plot summary.
Oh, yeah.
I bet.
Perfect.
Want to hear?
Yeah.
Fueled by his restored faith in humanity and inspired by Superman's selfless act, Bruce Wayne enlists the help of his newfound ally, Diana Prince, to face an even greater enemy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nice.
That's
nice
about
and
right.
generic.
That's about right. Yeah.
Nice, generic, short.
That's what it was.
But also accurate.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
They did it.
See, almost I have to say to sum up the movie,
I mean, it matches the
bad guy comes to Earth, tries to do bad guy things. Justice League have to form to stop the bad guy from doing the bad guy things.
Yeah,
that's basically what happened. That's essentially what happened. Again, it's Warner Brothers.
From
Desperate
from
to
like
catch up.
from the audience side, I'm thinking, especially for us because we're slightly invested in these movies.
Wow.
We enjoy them and we want them to be as good as they can be.
Yeah, we're fans.
Yeah, like the sum
I
up
thought
would
you had
be.
I thought you had skin in the game.
No, he meant like emotionally invested.
Like, how much did you donate?
No, like
Mercedes gave a lot of money to this movie.
Yeah,
There's a Mercedes
like
every 5 frames.
Like the sum up would be good effort.
Good
effort, the movie.
Yeah, no, I mean,
basically.
Yeah,
like,
in a lot of ways, that's accurate.
Good
actually.
effort, the movie. You
I see.
hamstring yourself with a bunch of stuff, and then it kind of fell apart, and you recovered, and you made a movie.
We saw
Good,
you try.
Good job.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying, and I think the rest of us. I want these movies to be good.
Yeah,
and it's not that they can't be. DC has a long history of making really good, some shitty, superhero movies.
Yeah, their animated movies are actually kind of, most of them are really good.
Look at the Nolan verse.
It's that weird thing where like the DC animated movies are really good.
They know how to they know how to make live action
Dark Knight
movies.
is still one of my favorite movies of all time.
Right,
No, animated movies.
No,
I'm just talking.
No, the Dark
Knight.
Knight.
Favorite movies of all time.
But where they make those gobs and gobs of money and have us coming back to the theaters.
Yeah.
It's all those like Nolan movies,
Yeah.
Michael Keaton, even the Tim Burton ones. Big fun Tim Burton, but man, those were good movies.
Yeah.
So they know how to make these movies, and clearly it's not something that changes with the times because Marvel's consistently killing it. They got the formula down, so it's not impossible.
Well, they got the formula down because they do this thing. I would honestly love to read the first draft of their movies.
No, but you can't say they can't make these movies now, or it's a time thing. Like, oh, we used to do those in the 90s and 80s, but you can't do them now. Clearly, Marvel knows and shows
Marvel
us
with Disney, their whole thing with Marvel and Disney is you get the script, and then you submit the script, and then they come back and go, okay, what else do you want to do?
Right, but
how can we make this better?
Well, they have plot points that they have to hit. I think at the end of the end of the movie, this character needs to be alive no matter what.
Yeah, they have their mandate, but they also have their how can we make this better? And Warner Brothers seems to have the thing where like
Warner Brothers made the mistake of putting everything in Zack Snyder's hands.
How can
all
we make it better for you?
All of these movies had Zack Snyder's fingerprints over all of them, and they've been lackluster in a lot of ways at the box office for them. They still make money, but not Marvel money.
No, because like Josue's not here, but he pointed last night. Zack Snyder is expert at moments inside of scenes.
Yeah.
So one thing will happen, you're like, that's fucking amazing.
Well,
fuck the rest of the scene.
I would say
it's all garbage.
I would say he's bad at composition, and he's bad at themes.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why he'll get a moment.
The complete opposite
of that,
who's great at composition and great at themes.
Yeah,
is Steven fucking Spielberg.
Yeah,
who knows every single movie, even the not so great ones at the box office, have great composition and great themes. The pace is correct. There's a theme throughout the entire movie.
I often wonder where Star Wars would have went, because Spielberg was supposed to do Return of the Jedi.
I know, he's never going to do that.
You know, he was supposed to do it back in the day. I wonder how that would have turned out.
No, he never would.
Back on track.
Stay on target.
Thank you.
There you go. But Zack Snyder, he's not that kind of director.
No.
He's making these whole movies. The problem is, like I said, Warner Brothers put all their eggs in his basket. Because, I mean, shit, they had him do like 3 of them so far. And they only have so many. So, you know, like, it kind of makes sense, like, what Joss Whedon was. Or Whedon. I keep saying Whedon. Like, Will Whedon. What Joss is or was to Marvel. Or we're actually more with Kevin Feige, the producer. The father of the Marvel universe. What Kevin Feige is to Marvel. They roped up with Snyder because he gets a producer credit in all of these movies. So it's his fingerprints.
Yeah.
I think that's why they're hurting so bad. He's great at doing 300. Sure. Everybody loved it, but
the 300 kind of writes itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't think they made a wise decision there. They wised up and they went to a place that they don't usually go, which is we don't always need to be dark.
Yeah.
Marvel, half the time
that's
isn't dark like anywhere near dark. It's not dark at all. But
Yeah,
Warner Brothers is learning that fast.
Well, I'd say we just need to skip past the non-spoilers and go right to spoilers.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess so. I mean, what's the basic premise is a baddie shows up on Earth.
The bad guy sucked.
Yeah.
He was a
Seriously.
terrible bad guy.
Again.
Such a crappy villain.
Yeah.
Again, breaking up, fucking with my formula.
Yeah.
Can't have a good superhero movie unless you got the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless
and this
unless
villain
somebody in the
sucks.
audience sympathizes with the villain, you don't care.
And you see the good villain at the very fucking end of the cutscene.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Why wasn't he in this? Damn it. But yeah, baddie comes to Earth. He wants to destroy the Earth and make it his own.
Yeah.
That's like
no.
every-
He wants to make it another
Version of his home planet.
another version of his home
Which means
planet
destroying
to
it.
Which is a hellscape.
It's a
Yeah,
hellscape.
yeah.
Which essentially means destroying Earth in the way we see it and making it his
Yeah,
own.
and as far as I
ruling-
know-
So they got the two things in there
Yeah.
that you need the most. You either want to destroy Earth or you want to rule Earth.
Yeah.
This movie, it's
Wants
the
to do
same
both.
plan.
It wants to do
it's
both.
the same
Yeah.
stupid plan.
destroy it to rule it. Yeah.
Right, same stupid plan. And of course, the Justice League has to bring all these these misfit heroes
Yeah.
together in order to stop them. They do. The end.
Yeah.
You're saying
That's,
something, guys?
That's really it.
You
well, the whole story behind, and we're in spoilers. The whole story behind the Unity and the mother boxes. I'm just like,
there was none.
I've never heard that before.
It wasn't there.
I understand
There-
it.
it was-
I understand it from Darkseid and everything, which kind of pissed me off because they only said it once in the movie.
How-
But it's like that's
Yeah.
kind of how it works. But
Yeah.
that's not what a mother box is.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Even so.
Yeah.
Think about all the audience members that we were surrounded with. I'm sure you guys were too. That have never read these books. Have to be explained and have to understand what's going on from only the movie's perspective.
Well, we got the Thursday show, and we got some people who were like, I'll say neck or ankle deep, and they were like whooping and hollering and cheering, and I'm like, I'm there with the comic shop crew, and there's a lot of what are they talking about? That's not in the comics. What
Exactly.
the hell is this bullshit?
Because these are the books. These
Yeah.
are the books.
Well, but
These aren't the books. These are not the books.
even
These are
keeping
movies.
that in mind, the background that they gave was just not
It sucked.
helpful.
At all.
Yeah, I mean, I
Or
wanted to see.
sense-making.
I wanted to see the movie.
No, it wasn't.
I wanted to see the movie of the first time he came to Earth and
I-
everybody
Yes.
uniting. I was like, I want to see that movie.
would
That's
be
gonna be way fucking better.
I read a review, and I think it was on Engadget. I read a review before seeing the movie, and the guy explained how he hated the movie, and he hated it because there was way too much exposition. There was way too many flashbacks. Everything was overly explained.
Well, it was.
I
like,
want to see that guy's version because that wasn't the version I saw.
Seriously.
Half this shit was just like, oh well, if you read the comics, you'd know. I'm like,
No,
that's
you
not
don't.
in the book.
That's not how a movie works.
And that's
yeah.
not in the book either.
Yeah.
And guess what? Everybody that you want to pay a ticket for this did not read the fucking books.
Yeah.
The guys who like the books are at home reading the
Well,
books
like,
again.
The simplest problem with this
You
movie
gotta
is that
explain this shit. And they
the
just-
simplest problem with this
You're right,
movie is
Rachel.
that
Did a
DC
terrible job.
relaunched their whole universe. Back in 2012, in the beginning of the universe, when the Justice League first came together, and that story isn't perfect.
You're talking about the comic books.
I'm talking about the comic
Talking
books.
about the comics, right.
But it's so simple and so relatable and so understandable. That story would have been better.
Yeah, but nobody in the theater that we were in tonight read the
No, but
read the book.
you wouldn't have to read it because it's that simple.
VC.
He's saying they should have used that.
Yeah,
story.
they should have just used what they had.
That didn't get across because Zack Snyder had an idea.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm blaming
Well,
him.
I'm almost saying somebody had an idea. And it was like, well,
I'm blaming him.
So-
it's like I couldn't help but think of Rick and Morty when they talked about unity and taking over the planet and making people other people because that's an episode. I'm
so,
like, ah.
so here, like, I have many problems with this whole plot.
Yes.
Like, here are sort of my main ones.
Sure.
So first of all, we get this flashback, and we learn that Steppenwolf, which, by the way, such a bad villain name.
Yeah, well,
terrible.
I don't
bad.
know
Sounds
which
like
came
children's
first.
alt rock band.
I don't. Well, no, it's a band name. There's a band called Steppenwolf. Yeah.
Well, and
Very famous band. Why
Yeah,
is everybody
yeah.
curious about that?
theater company.
the first
But,
thing I
like,
think
it's
of.
not a scary name at all.
No, but it's in the book, so they pulled from.
Fine,
They pulled from
whatever.
It's-
so he's tried this before.
He's a terrible character.
Yeah.
He's tried this before.
He's tried this before where he came to Earth many, many thousands of years ago.
No, he came to Earth 5,000 years ago. I specifically remember
Okay,
that.
fine.
Yeah.
5,000 years
where we would
ago.
have evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We would have figured this out by now.
Right, like supposedly the Atlanteans were still living above ground.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Spielberg was
Whatever.
digging up mosquitoes and sap from 65
Yeah,
million years
yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
We couldn't figure this shit out for $5,000.
Anyway, so, well, I'll get to part of that, because
Yeah.
apparently we could.
Oh, that's right. Continue.
so-
That's right.
He tries to take over by connecting these 3 mother boxes to form unity, but he's defeated in that because the Amazons, the Atlanteans, and the tribes of men unite to fight him off.
So everybody from Game of Thrones.
And you got that little hook. You got that little hook with Lord of the Rings. His Warner Brothers
Yes.
owns that.
Yeah.
The tribes of man, came
that
together.
was really cheesy. And stupid.
Yeah.
That was a bad one.
So
That was lame.
he doesn't succeed because all of the people who live on Earth unite to defeat his evil unity.
Ironic,
And
ironic since the weapon is called Unity.
Yeah, exactly.
and the sweet Green Lantern cameo.
Yeah, I saw that.
With the ancient Green Lantern.
I saw
which was still
the
cool,
ancient,
though.
The ancient Green Lantern Thor.
Yeah, which was still cool.
Well, yeah. I
I-
caught that too, where he's throwing a Thor hammer.
yeah,
He's throwing a fucking Mjolnir.
Yeah, and
I know,
he did like the Hal Jordan's fist and
I know,
But anyway.
but
They made a
anyway,
point to show you a Green
they're all
Lantern.
they're all
So-
still hoping we forgot the Ryan Reynolds movie.
yeah.
So he takes off. The Atlanteans, the Amazons, and the tribes of men each take one of the mother boxes.
Mother boxes, yeah.
To hide them so that
Inexplicable.
no one with a bad intent can ever try to put them together again.
Yeah.
Okay. You with me? So
Yeah.
already
Are you
with-
sufficiently
Still
confused
with
just
me?
like we were watching the movie?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
First of all, nothing ever explains where these mother boxes come from.
At all.
Why they're called mother boxes.
At all.
Why Steppenwolf keeps talking to them as if they are an actual entity who is his mother. Is that true? Is this something from his home planet that he brings here? Are these things that are naturally occurring here that he found here? Are they just DC Infinity Stones?
They are cheap DC Infinity
Yeah, that's the
Stones.
thing too, because like watching it, I'm like, I know what a mother box is.
I don't.
The
Why is it
audience
all of a
doesn't-
sudden this thing? What the fuck?
The audience
Yeah.
doesn't know
Also,
what it is.
I don't, and
Yeah.
you do from reading the comics.
I'm like,
so
that's
first
not.
of
I'm
all,
like, you're like, what is a mother box? And I'm like, that's not what a mother box
Exactly.
is. What the
Right.
fuck?
So what was the point of not explaining it?
right?
Yeah,
Because for
I know,
people
that-
who don't read
yeah,
the comics,
yeah.
it wasn't explained.
Yeah.
For people who did, it was
it
it's
was-
not what it is in the book. So
Yeah.
okay, so that's first problem. Second problem is then Diana, in her
Infinite wisdom.
exposition of expositions,
Yeah.
explains that now he has decided, Steppenwolf that is, has decided to do things in the other order.
Try to make us kneel
Where
first,
he's
then
going to
conquer
try
us.
to make us
He's gonna-
kneel and make us love him before conquering us.
Which,
But all we see him do is what he did before,
Yeah, that's it.
which is grab the 3 Unity or the 3 mother boxes and put them together to form Unity.
It seemed like Plan A again.
So, and like, yeah, we get the little bit of dialogue where he tells Hippolyta that like she'll love him,
Well, that.
but we literally see him do nothing
Nothing.
See,
to
like,
achieve that.
knowing what the story is, how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, but
I'm
I
like,
just realized
and
this
that's like the problem.
but-
like knowing what the story is, how it's supposed to
Yeah, but
work.
good luck with
I'm
that.
still fucking confused
Yeah, but good
because
luck. But good luck
it's
with that
not-
because this is now.
Well, you guys realize this was like 2 hour and 40-minute movie that was hacked down to 2 hours.
Yeah, I
so
believe it.
Yeah,
that's
but,
like that's
I mean-
why it feels so cut up because it
believe
is
it.
No, I was
totally
reading
cut up.
Zack Snyder intended this one to be much shorter.
Really, I thought that was
Yeah.
like, okay. I had that feeling that there was a lot cut out of
a
it.
little bit.
No,
but here's my.
I read
so-
that too. Yeah.
So here's the thing
did.
where, and this may be the giant plot hole you're talking about. I don't know. So here's.
Yeah.
So the Amazons take their I keep wanting to call it like a Unity Stone. That's missing.
Yeah.
Their
Mother box.
to Themyscira, and it's in the middle of a temple that apparently has all these like emerge self-destruct buttons.
Yeah.
The Atlanteans take theirs, and it's underwater and not very well protected at all. Can I say? It's like out in the middle of the ocean with like one mermaid standing guard.
Yeah, that's it.
And that was a cool moment inside of the
it was
Zack
like they
Snyder
were
scenes,
it was like they were guarding James Bond in the 60s.
Yeah, exactly.
There's one inept guard standing by. That's it.
So she'd have to unlock the door to
get out. Yeah.
Anyway, so then we see the tribes of men, which are
who actually did the only good thing to do, bury it.
Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings, medieval. Yeah.
And they bury it in secret with like 20 fucking people there. That's not very in secret.
And they bury it like 4 or 5
Yeah, but it was all the heads of the tribes, so that none of the heads of the tribes would use it to kill each other. That's what they said. That was literally a line of dialogue.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we want to make sure.
Okay, so we see these tribes of men bury this thing. Which, let's face it, these tribes of men we see burying it are 20 white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, very clearly supposed to be like early Northern European men. Which, fine, whatever. And then, with literally no explanation of how, that mother box ends up
mother effing box
in 21st century Gotham.
It's
in Star Labs.
It's just in Star Labs.
They find it.
I'm sorry. There is some explanation. They say that someone found it during World War I
and brings it to Star Labs.
And they did a bunch of experiments on it, but they couldn't even date it. So then it just sort of.
The only clue is we see Cyborg being created in Batman v Superman.
The mother box
in the security camera footage. We see him fucking around with the mother box, and only the true hardcore fans who know what a mother box is will be like, okay, I think I know what that is. That's a mother box. That's the thing they're going to use.
Speaking of gigantic plot holes,
so we see it's in Star Labs, but it's not greatly explained how he got it.
No.
Someone dug it up in World War I, and they didn't know what to do, so they gave it to Star Labs. But wait a minute, how many decades did it take them to get it to Star Labs from 1918 to 2017?
And also, why did it get dug up during World War I?
Well, and then
I like to think it circulated through a bunch of pawn shops.
Here's the fun thing.
And nobody knew what it was.
Here's the fun thing. You're adding plot holes on top of plot holes. It was clearly said it was 5,000 years ago that he tried to do this invasion.
Yeah, I know.
So mankind wasn't knights in medieval armor 5,000 years ago.
Oh, don't even get me started on trying to deal with...
What?
The inaccuracy. Don't get the medievalists started on
this is an
the historical inaccuracy.
This will make all the comic fans friendly.
We have completely different plot.
This is an alternate Earth, just like in Marvel, the MCU. That's an alternate Earth.
I've given up on that. It's an alternate Earth.
Every time.
It's an Earth where America has stupid city names like Gotham and Metropolis and Central City.
National City for our Supergirl fans. National City, Central. I mean, good. Yeah. I'm waiting to go visit Genericburg.
Right.
I think we're going to go on vacation in Genericburg.
I think that...
It's very beige.
I think that Lois and Clark should take their honeymoon in Normalville.
In Normalville, do you know that all the cornfields are CGI?
Wait, stay on target.
We are. We're complaining about the fact
that was
cornfields.
Did you know about
the mustache?
Okay, I looked that up because it was driving me crazy. Because I turned to him halfway through the movie and I was like, honey, why does Henry Cavill's face look like it's a monster?
Right. And my answer was built on my anger of the CGI cornfields, because apparently the Warner Brothers cannot afford to go to a cornfield and shoot a scene.
Of course not.
It's too expensive.
Well, there aren't any cornfields in England.
It's too dangerous. We can't fly all these American actors to America.
Yeah.
They don't speak the language. It's too expensive in Kansas. Anyway, so I was focused on that, and I figured, well, it's all green screen in a cornfield. That's pissing me off. It's so stupid. Why would you bother? And then I turned and I said, honey, it's a lighting issue. It's because all this crap is green screen, and it's a lighting problem. That's got to be what
it is.
You can always
see
it.
Because Amy Adams' face in the same scene, right next to him, looked totally normal. So I looked it up, and sure enough, because Henry Cavill was filming Mission Impossible at the same time, and he had a mustache for that, they had to CGI his mustache out, which means that for like half of the scenes he's in, the bottom half of his face looks like a monster.
Yeah, it looks like...
It's really in that uncanny valley.
You just know Marvel doesn't have these problems. You just know they don't have these problems.
How last second was that phone camera footage at the beginning because of Spider-Man? Let's
just
throw this in there.
That was bad. That was bad.
It was so bad that you could see the CGI to get out his mustache in the super grainy, shitty footage.
It was terrible. Not only that.
I was watching that, and then the movie started, and I was like, wait, could they not actually get Henry Cavill for this? And they had to, is this like what happened in...
When they make a young Kurt Russell in...
in that? Or in... Rogue One?
Rogue One,
Peter Cushing.
What is happening here?
They might as well, but I mean, my problem with that opening scene is, I don't know, a little bit different than your guys' problem. The CGI was stupid, sure, but my biggest problem is that it was horribly written.
My problem is he didn't fucking answer the question, and that's the point. If you're gonna do that thing,
I let that
answer the question so you know why Superman loves Earth.
I let that go because it was the very first scene, and I didn't know where they were gonna go with this, so I was like, ooh. There's going to be a callback to this.
And there never was.
There never fucking was. So I got pissed at the end of the movie about the first scene. But when I was watching it, I was like, I wonder where they're going to go with this. He's thinking about Lois. I could see it in his eyes. He's thinking about it.
If we'd had some line later,
but the rest of it was written like shit.
I'm not from this planet either, but I love the people here. They're
anything.
Anything. But it was meant to be so campy, like I said,
you have
the
to,
cell phone footage.
If you're gonna do that, you have to. If you're gonna set up the premise that I'm an alien.
Right.
I can be anywhere in the universe, but I love Earth. You gotta say why. Turn to the smile. It's like that. Avengers. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's a direct rip off of that.
You're right.
Yeah.
All it proves is that somebody, whoever wrote this in, whoever gets the little credit for putting that in there, obviously went and saw Spider-Man and said, we need to start our movie with iPhone footage and immediately grab the audience because every audience member has an iPhone. So we'll all immediately, or at least has a cell phone, so we'll all gravitate towards that. And this is what would really happen in real life because that's what we're trying to frame this as. This is really happening in real life.
Also,
but it was written like shit. It was a novelty, and it didn't have at least the Spider-Man ones. It kind of worked.
Well, that's the thing.
It showed him as a character, being a kid with a phone.
Well, that was the thing. It worked, but you have to answer the question.
But the kids come up and said, "Hey, Superman, can we film you for our podcast? Our podcast. They're filming him for a podcast. I know it's like a small thing.
But I know, but everybody calls it a podcast because remember, the kids who are doing it now didn't have audio-only iPods.
Yeah.
We're that far into the 21st century now, and technology, where kids are like, wait, it's a box that only plays
YouTube
music?
video.
I can't watch TV on it? What the fuck is the point of this plastic rectangle that only plays music? Who the hell would ever buy this? Because as soon as, video, why bother? Just shoot a video. I don't know why the hell we don't have a huge soundstage and a bunch of lights and... Honestly, it's because you don't want to see us drunk. That's why we do this audio.
Yeah.
But no, I see what you're saying, but I think that's a product of the times. It's just things become nicknames,
Yeah. Well, see, here's the other
things
side
that are
that.
terms that are used.
They say we want to shoot this for the podcast, and it happens to be video. They're just going to use the audio on the podcast.
I'll give you a boring IT example. What is the picture on your desktop called? What's that called?
screensaver.
No, it's not. It's called a wallpaper. A screensaver is when you get flying toasters. That's a screensaver. It saves your screen from burning in the image.
Yeah.
We don't have those problems anymore, and everybody calls the background image, the wallpaper, a screensaver.
Oh, really?
Not Apple, not Windows, not even Linux call it a screensaver. They all three of them call it a wallpaper, but nobody who uses it calls it a wallpaper. So it's a term thing, and that's the pop culture way to do it.
Yeah, say podcast. It's recording what's happening, and
that's enough.
That's
enough. And everybody has a little tiny film
phone
studio
that can
in their pocket.
Yeah.
Anyway, stay on target.
But you have to, if you're going to do that, you have to answer the question.
Yeah.
Superman has to say why he loves Earth.
No. I figured
No, he does.
No,
there has to be some callback.
Right.
Yeah,
Make the
that
movie
too,
do its job and do a callback to it. In that case, I'll give them a pass on the terrible
But it
writing.
didn't at all.
No, it didn't. So I don't give them a pass because they wrote it shitty. They just wrote it shitty. It was campy and stupid. Other kids coming up. Okay, but
I think that is.
They never went back
the
to
Warner
that.
Brothers saying it has to be under 2 hours. I think that's what it is. I think.
Well, see, I had two
there
words
was
that I
some
kept saying
callback
while I was-
to it. But that's just one of the things that got the cut.
I think it's a hodgepodge of writing, and they didn't know what they were doing. Again, I don't think they thought this out. I think they're clearly looking at dollar signs, and and they just need to catch up to Marvel. That's all they're focused on.
Is it
And
like the
that's
thing
why
they-
they're speeding through all this shit.
The thing they don't understand is,
we have 20 movies of exposition with Marvel.
Yeah.
We have 3 with DC. They're in a hurry.
Yeah.
So they're pushing shit out as
Like
fast
the
as they
simplest thing that they don't understand is people who are going to these movies and taking their kids to these movies. When we grew up, Marvel didn't exist except for a hero in a TV show.
Yeah, no, I know.
Dude, you had the Super Friends, you had the Justice League, like in the early 70s and 80s. That's all that was all the superhero teams on television.
What about Spider-Man on the Electric Company?
Yeah, but the way they get on market now is just let's make everything a little 80s horrific, and then member berries come back into all of our heads, and we start getting nostalgic about pre-21st century stuff.
Yeah, but all they did was member berries. Here they are. They're perfect. You can do this. And they're like, no, skip everything that people actually experience.
Like synth music for the orchestra. Very 80s. You know, the coloring, right? The crazy neon color. That's 80s.
Marvel movies.
Yeah, exactly. But it works. This movie, they're focusing on let's see what we can rip off from Marvel. They're not saying let's focus on nostalgia to bring in the older folks and let's focus on new funny stuff to grab the kids. They're focused on is let's go and watch all the Marvel movies and then rip off the things that we like. That's all they're doing. So they're not making they're not making an original. They're trying to make a Xerox.
Well, the problem
and they're
is,
always going to lose some quality.
The problem that you can see with this movie, like just for me knowing like the stories and everything, that this was supposed to be Darkseid. But
I know
they learned a little thing: don't waste a big, huge villain in your first movie. So make it Steppenwolf and make it kind of tangent to Darkseid.
They have to have somebody else to face the Justice League sooner or later, and they set up the Legion of Doom.
They set up Legion of Doom, and
it's
I'm still pissed that nobody said Boom Tube because that's what those were called. That's what those are. Yeah,
I know, but you know what? Here's the thing. When compared to the recent DC movies, with maybe the exception of Wonder Woman, this was an improvement with all of its fucking problems.
Yeah.
I still will give it a pass because I'd much rather watch this movie again than Suicide Squad. I would. The reason to watch Suicide Squad is to watch Margot Robbie walk around in those little hot pants. That's really it. The acting was shitty, the story didn't make any sense, and it was over, and nothing got explained. You know?
Yeah, that's kind of like this movie all over again. But it's a little bit better because
movie, at least
the heroes you're more
invested in. At least they tried to explain it. They did a terrible job, but at least they tried to explain it.
Well, this movie had the formula
of
go look for somebody, give some exposition about something, and then move on.
Yeah.
So that you said there's one gaping plot hole you had a problem with.
Oh, okay. Here's my gaping plot hole. Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
He has these boxes and he does this shit. He got defeated last time and he lost his boxes. That was 5,000 years ago. And he got a signal. He got a signal from the mother box as soon as the Kryptonian Superman was dead.
Right.
So
I know, silly.
He was only on Earth for 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
What the fuck was he doing for the rest of that 5,000 years?
Why didn't he
what was he
come
off
before
doing?
Superman was here?
Yeah.
While Superman was
why
here,
did he never? Yeah. Why did he never try again? When the Atlanteans were forced into the sea and the tribes of men split up and the Amazonians were sequestered on an island, why did he try then?
They mentioned it again. They did a shitty job. They mentioned that they waited for him to die. They said that was the signal. Not that Kryptonian showed up. Kryptonian showed up. The mother.
They
box,
waited for him to die before they came back.
No, I know.
But he wasn't alive for 5,000 years. So what was he doing?
I never said this makes sense.
Yeah.
I never said this story makes sense.
The timing now makes right.
I'm just telling you what
the timing before.
I'm just trying to tell you what they tried to explain, and which is why the mother boxes didn't show up 2 movies ago. They tried to say, well, as soon as the mother box realized he died, well, now it's safe, come down. But between
those 4,000 years before Superman was here,
cannot explain. Not applicable. Cannot explain.
It's really sad too. Because
they weren't dug up yet. No.
I know
it's so clunky.
Why not show up in 1925 after the? No, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense.
It's so clunky.
The allegory of Darkseid is almost perfect for today's world.
I know, but they're not going to do that now.
Well, no,
they have to get the team together.
And even the simple version is perfect. He's looking for the power to rule the universe, and all he does is enslave worlds and take away people's free will so they don't have to think and they just exist to serve Darkseid for Darkseid.
They got to get the team together.
And it's just like, it's so simply perfect that it annoys me that they didn't do that. They added layers of bullshit to go another direction.
Yeah, I know.
At the end of Avengers, the dirt started flying off the castle, and it turns out there was no reason for that.
Nothing at all.
There was
nothing at all.
They just brought him back
to using.
It
was a tease, a little cock tease.
Yeah, it was
he's not dead.
And that was one of the best scenes in the movie. That was one of the best and funniest scenes in the movie where the Flash is like, I'll just run around behind him, and Superman's holding up Wonder Woman and Cyborg and Aquaman.
Right.
I love that.
And the Flash's face when he
what
realized.
the fuck? That was great.
How is this guy this fast?
Definitely the best part of this movie.
Best part. No.
Flash was great because Flash was
thing.
just the Flash.
So that drove me crazy, the whole bringing Superman back thing, because it was an abandoned plot line of Superman coming back wrong. Because Superman came back wrong. He didn't come back wrong. He came back
confused
for all of 10 minutes until his girlfriend showed up to calm him down.
Yeah.
So there's all this build up to something's gonna be wrong.
He's gonna be in a black suit.
And then he comes
I was waiting. He's gonna be in the black suit. Oh, please put him in the black suit.
Yeah, because those fucking memes. All that
right.
shit that you saw. That's how.
I've seen,
and that's how sad that it was that
I've seen him in the books in the black suit.
And that's how sad that it was that as soon as
in the beard, evil Superman. This is good.
As soon as Batman vs Superman ended, fans with memes and just random thoughts came up with a better movie.
Yeah,
that was better. You're watching it and it's like, I got the big gun, and you're like, oh, it's kryptonite gun.
In the rewrite.
And then when you see that it's Lois Lane, you're like, why the fuck didn't you do that in the first place? He flies out and she's the only thing there.
No. One word, Martha.
What?
Martha. That should explain everything you need to know. It was that bad.
Yeah.
They're battling out with him. Can't do it. We need to bring in the big gun. I knew what they were talking about.
Of course.
It was gonna be Lois, of course. This bad trick they're playing on the audience. What else do they got? It's Lois.
But yeah, like I said, that should have been plan A. Just get everybody else out of the way so she's the first thing he sees when he wakes up.
So it's like he comes back to life.
He's fine.
He comes back to life, he sees somebody he met once.
Yeah.
Right.
And 3 other people that he's never fucking seen before.
Of course that's gonna throw him. Whereas you let him come back to life and his girlfriend is the first thing he sees, he's gonna be confused at first, but not freaked out.
Yeah.
Why the fuck did that thing with Cyborg happen? Because Superman scans him. Remember Superman
No, that was character development for Cyborg not being able to control what he was.
Terrible character development
that was
for
awful.
Cyborg.
That was awful.
Yeah. Because we hadn't
he
seen
scans
any
him.
of that beforehand.
No, there's
self-defense. I have no control.
Well, you saw a little bit of it when he's like, He's in front of his dad. He like levitates up and flies. Like, I couldn't do that last night.
Yeah, but that's him learning new things.
Yeah, but it seems
But
to
it
imply
doesn't
that
work.
he chose to do that.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
that's not
work
him
because he
losing
had control of it, and you're like, okay, so cool shit happens, and it's really cool. And then you're like, oh, I can't control my gun.
Yeah, but
This
now
doesn't. Like, there was
wait a
one
minute.
like
There's no
I had
correlation.
two
No,
words.
if you grew a new gun,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Right.
If all of a sudden we figured out he can't control these things, there was nothing laid in
Yeah.
stone that says
Yeah.
he can't control it. It was all just he'd wake up in the morning and he'd have a new toy.
Yeah, well, like I was
None of this
saying,
shit says he
last
can't
night when we
control
were
it.
talking about it,
Bullshit.
when Steppenwolf was attacking Cyborg, I wanted his back to just turn into a gun,
Yeah,
and just blow him away and be like, okay, there's that.
Thanks,
you can even hang a joke on it and be like, okay, there's that. Back to work.
Thanks,
Right.
self-defense I can't control.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Where was
yeah,
it? There
yeah,
was no perk
yeah.
to
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
The whole point is when you see like the hero or any hero fuck up in the beginning of the movie, it's
You
that
expect to have payoff.
They
up
don't
in the
know
end.
what they're doing.
Now,
They can't
generally
control it,
speaking,
yeah.
it's like if the hero goes down a tunnel or a path and they fuck up, they trip, and they almost get, or they get a little hurt, but they don't die.
Yeah.
But they learn something about that path. Then later on in the movie, there's a callback, and they lead the bad guy down the path, and the bad guy doesn't know any better, and then boom, Iron Man 1. How'd you fix the icing problem?
Yeah.
Icing problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
yeah.
he went up as high as he
Very
could.
simple, yeah.
Icing problem, and then he learns, and then sure enough, later he uses that to defeat the bad guy. None of that was with Cyborg.
And they-
Could
and
have
they, like-
easily been done. They didn't do it. So stupid, missed opportunity.
And it's funny too because they had two complete hits. They had a complete hit and a complete miss for the same collateral damage thing.
Yeah.
Which was Flash. I'm fucking terrified. I just push people and he's
Yeah.
like, go save somebody.
Right.
Just go save one person.
That was
Be
a good
done with
scene.
it.
I like that scene.
That was really cool.
No, I like that scene
And
too.
then they were like, there's a whole town full of people. We're just gonna hang out in this one house with this family, fuck everybody else, and we're gonna show how important this one family is.
They
Fuck
kept
everybody
using the
else.
family like they couldn't
Yeah.
afford extras.
Yeah,
But
and
then,
we're
like, meanwhile, when we finally
it's
just
see
this one
Flash and
family.
Superman,
Yeah.
it turns out there's an entire apartment building.
Yeah, there's a whole
Picks
bunch
up
of
and he
other
moves,
people.
yeah.
Cool, yeah.
He's like, well, I got those 4 people. You know, so I did a good job.
I mean, like-
Speaking of an entire apartment building, this is a small line from early in the movie, but it irritated me because it was so dumb.
Which one?
So the reactionary terrorist attack that Wonder Woman stops.
Oh, yeah.
That was-
so. I mean, like,
there's a complete reason for that, but
the
yeah,
entire
yeah.
reason, as far as I could tell, is to show off that Diana is now far more active
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Well, it was also the
Human-
callback to showcase the best movie they've ever made in the universe with their best character so far. Yeah,
Right.
I
Yeah.
did like.
But
Okay,
so when she first, like lassos up the one dude who's the henchman, he explains that you're too late. In less than 2 minutes, 4 city blocks will blow. We learned it's a very specific number.
Yeah.
4 city blocks. We then go to the leader, who is gloating about the fact that what he's about to do will completely demolish civilization and everything will restart.
Yeah.
By blowing up 4 city blocks
Yeah.
in one of the largest cities in the world.
Stupid.
yeah.
With one briefcase full of explosives,
I
how is
know.
one
Right,
briefcase
right.
I
going to blow
know.
up 4 blocks?
I did. It was C4. You could see it. It was
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
it's
weird
just
thing about
C4.
this
It's gonna
movie.
blow up the
You're gonna
people
level
in
the
that
building.
room.
You'll get the
needed-
building. You'll get the
Yeah.
building. That's it.
But 4 city blocks it ain't.
We've
for
all
one thing.
we've all seen
And
C4 movies.
Yeah.
You'll get
for
the building.
another thing,
That's it.
blowing up
That's
4
it.
city blocks in the middle of London is not going to
not a second.
reset humanity.
No, it's not.
Yeah, yeah.
The idea, I think, was we are resetting humanity because we are in the super bank.
No,
Wait.
they
Yeah,
weren't.
yeah.
They were in the high criminal court.
I know.
Well, that's the
I
thing.
know.
They
I
didn't
know.
tell you how important it was
I know.
because.
When that makes no sense.
Yeah,
If they were,
it was
in
it was actually a moment
remember the
where
end
they
of Fight
needed
Club?
some exposition.
Remember the end of Fight Club?
Right, yeah.
How
Yeah.
many banks did they have to level
Oh,
to
fuck,
reset
yeah.
everything? Right.
Yeah.
That would have worked.
Right.
That wasn't their plan. They're going to take out the courthouse.
So,
That looked like a
at
But it
bank.
was cool how she
Yeah.
wasn't.
You know,
It was
I
cool how she
understood.
was all business.
Yeah.
She showed up. Oh, this is gonna blow up. Fucking throw it away.
Yeah.
Then no, you're safe now. No, you're safe. Done. I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
done.
No, and
Yeah.
and I also understand that this was partially to show that the world has gone to shit now that Superman is
Yeah.
dead. But there was there was so little showing us that the world has gone to shit now that Superman has died. Literally, we got three things.
No evidence.
Yeah. We got three things to demonstrate that the world has gone to shit now that Superman is dead. One is we got this crappy reactionary terrorist group in London.
Yeah.
Two, we got an angry man throwing over fruit stands belonging to an immigrant, what's supposed to be a Middle Eastern immigrant family in New York, and then getting handcuffed by cops.
Right.
So, like, okay, there's an asshole, but the cops are getting him. So,
the cops are actually having to work for a living.
But they're doing it.
And
number three, there's a homeless man on the street with a sign that says, I tried.
Yeah.
Those are our three indications.
There's the one guy, and the one time I nudged you and I smiled really early on in the movie. I was like, look, the crime fighter of all these superheroes is actually fighting crime.
He wasn't.
And then I was sorely disappointed when it turns out it's an evil ploy to draw out a parademon.
That's another thing.
But I was super excited. I was like, holy shit, Batman's finally fighting crime.
Let me finish this for a second.
And then
Let me finish this for a second. Because this whole finishing monologue that we get of Lois Lane writing her great comeback piece now that her boyfriend's alive again, which I don't even want to deal with that.
In the movie.
I don't even want to deal with that. But it's all about, like, we were in a dark place. I'm like, no, you really were.
Yeah, it was like the new RoboCop. Yeah, it was kind of shitty, but not horrible.
One guy was an asshole, and so a cop arrested him, and another dude's homeless.
Oh no, that's Harlem.
Oh no! Like thinking for comparison's sake of
actually, that's any major city.
The
what
way
am I talking
the
about?
state that Gotham is in the middle of Dark Knight Rises, when Bane and all of the criminals are in charge. Like that's a vision of a world that's gone to shit because of who's in charge. And that, like, if they had done something like that, this whole claim of we were in a dark, dark place, but you just have to, like, that would have made sense. But this was a context of everybody's sad because Superman is dead, and some people continue to be assholes.
See, I would have loved the simple twist on the.
It was just humanity.
See, what would have been great for this?
Exterior stuff. It was just us.
Yeah, what would have been great for a nice twist on a cliche and a fun mix of it is.
Are we in a rewrite already?
Slightly.
I think we're getting close.
Yeah, we're getting close.
I think you want to get in a rewrite.
Yeah. I would have had for the shitty state of things. You have the bums huddle around the bums huddle around the flaming fucking oil thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And a guy in a suit walks up, puts his hands down, puts his briefcase down, huddles up with him, and they all know him because that's where he fucking sleeps because that's how bad things have gotten.
I guess, but
it's a simple little twist on the cliche.
I know, but did we get into a worldwide economic meltdown after?
Or even,
and that's the hook because that's like the criminal world existing and shit being fucked up. That even the guy in the business suit, even the guy in the business suit lives with the bums.
Even just to work on what they already had in the scene where the asshole knocks over the fruit carts and then gets arrested, instead of having the police show up and actually do their job,
have them not show up.
Have the police show up and slap the woman and knock some more stuff over.
Yeah, that too. So nobody cares. Nobody cares. Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Or have a cop get beat up.
Yeah,
or have a cop
that too.
Get beat up.
I'd rather see that.
Yeah.
You want to see how bad things are?
Yeah.
Have a cop try to intervene and have the guys he's trying to stop jump him and kick the shit out and be like, oh, it's not going well.
Yeah.
Even the cops can't handle this. We do need the Justice League.
Have the cop show up, start arresting the guy, and random people on the street intervene on the side of the fucking thugs.
That's what I said.
Something like that. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. But then it turns into what you were saying, like end of Dark Knight Rises, kind of, where it's like it's mob rule.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not what they left us with.
No,
because we're in a position where
it's supposed to be hopeless. That's the whole point.
Right, but Diana works in a museum, brushing off.
Well,
her life is grand. Bruce is still Bruce. He's still loaded. That doesn't shit.
What's your superpower again?
I'm rich. Yeah, exactly. Everybody's life is still pretty good.
I'm gonna hit it. Do you guys want? You want to do the rewrites when I get back?
Sure.
What is it?
I think I'm drinking Anchorstein tonight.
What?
Anchorstein tonight.
Anchorstein. All right.
Yeah, I think
1 or 2.
I guess 2 if you're buying.
All right, I'll be back. Yeah, I'm gonna go with you.
Okay.
Should we pause it?
Should we pause it? I don't know. Pause it. Okay, so we're gonna do a part 2 when Guy comes back from getting more libations for all of us.
Back in a flash.
Oh, good one. Okay, now I'm ready.
All right.
We're back for part 2.
Rewrites.
For Justice League. Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're getting pretty close there with part 1 anyway.
Yeah.
So might as well. Well, you guys want to go last?
Yeah. I got dibs on last.
Would you like to jump in? You want me to?
I mean,
You got any ideas?
I don't know that I have anything fully fleshed out.
Well, on the Ghost in the Shell rewrite, he timed me. You got to get. What did we say? We went back to the original. Same movie. Everything's basically the same. Just fix little bits here and there to make it better. There's a lot to fix on this one, but yeah.
There's a lot to fix on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. For me, the main thing is I would explain the mother boxes better.
Yeah, I would change the mother box story.
Yeah, I would change the mother box story in a way that made sense without there having to be a lot of exposition.
Yeah.
In a way where you could explain a lot of it visually by like watching what Steppenwolf does with them. That explains it, so that you don't have to have an extra 5 minutes of Diana explaining it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I got.
Yeah.
I mean, also, there were a bunch of corny lines in there that should have just been cut.
There were some bad ones in there, too.
I can't feel my toes. I don't even have toes.
I don't understand biology.
No. He said, I don't understand the physics behind that. And exactly, that's biology.
Yeah,
but okay,
exactly.
Okay, whatever.
There were some bad ones.
Yeah. That's pretty much it for me.
Me, since I know you guys want to go last, I would have stuck a lot more with the Superman's back, but he's evil.
Yeah.
I would have had our villain come and just barely kind of get defeated by the Justice League after they revive Superman. But only because Superman's revived and he's kind of reset and he doesn't really know what's going on and he's angry and he defeats this villain because the villain's just in his way and he takes him out. And then the villain's kind of destroyed, but really, the real villain of this is angry, evil, fucking Superman.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, that's good.
I would do with that because then they have to deal with him for the rest of the movie. Now, you know they're not going to kill him, but they have to figure out a way to zap him back to his normal self.
Yeah.
How are you going to stop this guy?
Yeah.
We tried one horrible outing with Batman v Superman of how would you really kill Superman? Okay, how do you defend from this guy when he's angry?
Yeah.
What if all your nightmares that they've all been screaming about on all the fake news reports?
The whole reason for Suicide
like when
Squad,
Charlie Rose gets his guest spot, with Holly Hunter. They're like, well, this guy can't be matched, and that's that. We'll make him that way because he's been reset. But by the end, they zap him back into cohesion, and he's back to being regular Superman. But make them have to come together to defend against the guy they brought back to life.
Yeah.
Like, do that.
Also,
I would do that, and then of course, yes, spend a few more minutes explaining the fucking mother fucking boxes.
I have another thing that I just thought of. Is I would get rid of the frickin' callbacks to Lion King.
Oh.
By which I mean, one, the incredibly corny line when Batman said to Superman quite seriously, remember who you are. The same way that frickin' Ghost Mufasa in the sky says to Simba. And the way that Steppenwolf dies, eaten by his parademons, is exactly like Scar being eaten by the hyenas at the end of Lion King.
It's supposed to be poetic, but it came off
It's supposed to be poetic, but it came off dumb. Like, this bad guy you've been so scared of, or supposed to be so scared of,
you can't
all
really
of a sudden
kill.
is scared because you broke his axe.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And then it's done in by his own minions.
And then it's done in. Like, it works in Lion King because it's a kid's movie.
Yeah, and it's kind of poetic in Lion King.
It's very poetic in Lion King.
But in this movie, it's lazy writing.
It was lazy.
That's where I'm at.
And the heroes didn't kill the villains.
Yeah, and even with the character, he should have been angry, not scared.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, props for maybe trying something new, maybe. But that's very little props. I hear.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I noticed that in the credits, before we get to the cutscenes, there's the music credits and what is in there, and I spotted it. I could hear it. Rachel heard.
It was Danny Elfman's theme from the Batman movie.
I know, and I'm like, I love this. There you go. Now it's subtle, but it's in there, and it made me think, okay, this is a good Batman scene. Whatever this scene is, it's a good Batman scene because I see Batman, I hear that music. Okay, this is gonna be a good scene. Ultimately, like most of the scenes, it kind of fell flat, but still.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Like he put on goggles inside of his plane.
Yeah,
it's it's. I
mean, I literally
made
had
the
two
scenes
words
that fell flat a little bit more palatable.
I had two keywords for this movie, and they were what and no.
Yeah. Well, I would go with a lot more of the bad Superman, and that.
Yeah.
It's really them getting him back into cohesion.
Yeah.
You know? And I think you can make a good movie out of that. You set up a crappy villain like Steppenwolf, who nobody fucking knows. Everybody in the audience who don't read the books all know the Joker. Everybody in the audience who doesn't read the books all know who Lex Luthor is. Nobody in the fucking audience who doesn't read the books knows who the fuck Steppenwolf is, and they don't give a shit. And that's why, again,
and he's actually kind of a minor bitch.
I know, it doesn't matter, and that's, again, same formula, like I'm saying. If you fuck up the villain in a superhero movie, you fucked up the movie. That's the one thing a superhero
Unless the
needs
rest
to
of your
great
movie is
film.
so good that they don't matter,
and they
which
never,
is a problem in
they
and of
never
itself.
are.
Yeah.
They just never are. Howard the Duck would have been the best superhero movie of all time, even with a crappy hero, if the villain was good. If the villain was bad in that movie, too. And again, you fuck up the villain, you fuck up the movie. But all of our best superhero movies that we all name all have the best villains in them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's true, you know? You only adopted the dark. We were born in it, molded by it, you know?
Yeah.
You know? Like, you want to know how I got these scars? You know, anything that, you remember the villain, you can barely remember the movie. This, I say, they pick Steppenwolf, do him halfway through, and then give up, and then make Superman the villain.
Yeah.
A real villain, not this half in, half out, really a good guy, Boy Scout in Batman v Superman that you have to reluctantly battle. Make him really evil. We saw what Zod was capable of.
You could do it. Make him confused, but he goes after other people who might be able to match his power just because they might match his power and he doesn't know what he's doing.
Right, my point exactly.
You reset it to his first day at work again.
And how hard is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You can do that, and then by the end, they zap him in cohesion. We'll use Lois. She's the one who does it in the end. Zaps him back. He remembers everything again.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we give Superman random powers all the time. Like, how about, like, when he kisses Lois Lane, she erases her memory? Where's that fucking superhero power in the book? It's not.
He I-beams the Great Wall of China back together. Yeah,
keyword, it's not. They just give him power. So give him some reasons why Lois Lane would zap him back to normal.
Yeah.
And that she's the one in the end who actually saves the day for the world, because now he's not confused, angry, aggressive Superman.
Yeah.
And put him in the black suit. He's been in a coffin.
Oh,
you know?
hell yeah with the black suit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking
about.
about.
The black Superman suit is fucking pimp, dude.
Yeah.
It's badass.
Yeah.
Put him in the black suit. You could do it. That was the black suit he was buried in.
Yeah.
And it kind of flings and flails about as he flexes, and you kind of barely see a cape. You know? Do that. You know?
Yeah.
Make him dark for like half the movie. Make him dark, and then he comes back. And boom, by the end of the movie, you have a nice, cohesive, banded together Justice League that's ready to take on Darkseid.
And you can almost do it
Or
like,
whoever, some good fucking
you can
villain.
almost do it that he's confused the entire time, and it turns out the bad guy.
Yeah, but
The bad guy, he singles out the bad guy instead of the Justice League and winds up fighting him. It's the win is almost incidental.
and
Yeah.
you know, how hard could that have been? Well, I'll let you take it from there, because that's all I really wanted to do. Which one of you guys want to go?
You're up
Adam?
next, Adam.
All right, so
You're up,
the
Adam.
major problem with this movie was the bad guy. Steppenwolf was fucking lame.
I agree.
To be honest, I actually like this movie more than everyone else here, apparently.
I didn't hate it.
I thought
I'll rewatch it.
I thought it was a solid like B minus.
I'll give you B minus C plus in that area.
Yeah, well, in that area.
I'll
Yeah.
give you B minus.
It's a B minus.
Yeah. I think it's in that area.
I'm like high C. I'm like C plus plus.
See, we're all kind of in
Yeah.
agreement.
Yeah.
I'll watch it again.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas Suicide Squad, I really want to watch again.
Oh god, no.
It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll look at screen captures of Margot, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the only. What else can you pull from that movie? This movie? No, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. It was enjoyable, but Steppenwolf was a big problem for me.
There were problems.
I think I really like your rewrite idea. I would almost want to steal that, but I would add to that changing Steppenwolf to another. One of my favorite. I grew up watching the animated series.
Okay.
The Justice League animated series. Did you
Go
watch
on.
that?
Yeah.
And I remember from Apocalypse, one of the minor characters, not Darkseid, but one of his generals was Granny Goodness. I think she was Granny Goodness.
Yeah, but she's
And-
not frontline.
No,
She's the fucking brainwasher.
Yeah. That'd be tough.
That'd be
But-
tough.
But
That'd be tough.
continue.
Yeah.
But continue.
and
Keep going,
get the original actor and get Ed Asner just like she did in the cartoon to play him. Ed
tough.
Asner just in drag. That's your villain right there.
Just so I could see that.
Yeah, exactly. Just so
I'd
you can
be-
see, that's what
I
the
would-
first admission was.
I would be confused, but happy.
Yeah, totally.
Fair enough.
So yeah, Ed Asner in drag. That's my rewrite. Go ahead, guy.
Guy, there you go.
Oh shit, that's it. Okay, I'm up.
We're timing you. We're timing you. We're timing you.
Because the actual story is so simple, I would go with that. I would have the boom tubes named as boom tubes. I would have Steppenwolf being defeated on Earth and being banished as a minor general to do grunt work. Being the first one to get the signal from the mother boxes left on Earth, which are actual portals. Fuck this Unity shit. Hearing about the Kryptonian not being on Earth anymore, and then being like, okay, I'm going to go back. Because that's what got me kicked off the front lines. Now I'm in the back lines. Now I can... This is my chance. So, the beginning of the movie kind of plays out the same, where he doesn't show up and be like, I'm going to take over the planet. He shows up and goes, I'm going to get the mother boxes together, and I'm going to use them to bring in the armies of Apocalypse, because the point of Darkseid is to make as many apocalypses as possible, so he can discover the and I would throw in the anti-life equation, which is the opposite of the life equation, to control the fucking universe for my will, not for anybody else's. Throw all that shit in there, and I would make it the way the best movies that we love and enjoy are, really fucking simple. Bad guy has a goal that you understand, even if you're not the bad guy, because it's a job and it's a thing that he wants to do. And Superman, I would almost leave Superman out of it, or if I had Superman in it, I would have Steppenwolf revive Superman to fight on his side. Knowing about Kryptonians,
I'm timing you. I'm letting you go.
Knowing about Kryptonians, knowing all that shit, Steppenwolf would be the one to revive
We're all
Superman.
looking at our phones. I'm listening.
I'd almost say Steppenwolf. The movie would start with Steppenwolf reviving Superman, and I'll throw in your Granny Goodness.
Awesome.
Without an evil, torturing, brainwashing. Just like, hey, you're awake, you're back now. I don't know what's going on. Okay, it's cool. Hang out. Let's have some food. There's these people out there, and they want to tell people what to do. We want to set them free, and we want to make them part of this bigger thing, which is, oddly enough, the whole Darkseid thing, this bigger thing to conquer the universe. and have Superman on the bad guy side the entire time, but realize like he naturally would, that what you're doing is kind of fucked up. Just kind of period. I'm on your side. I understand these guys are fighting against this, and I'll even give it unity in sharing everything. They're fighting against that, but what you're doing to accomplish that is fucked up. So, like, for most of the movie, we have Superman. We have almost like another Batman v Superman with his contingencies. I'll give him his Batman can do anything. Batman's fighting Superman, keeping him at bay, telling the heroes what to do to, like, contain Superman while they do their work. Superman realizes at the end that he's a pawn, and he turns. Steppenwolf gets defeated. We have Darkseid show up at the end to have his debut, and he just says, "I'll be back," and that's how it ends. "I'll be back. You can't escape me because no one has ever escaped me," kind of thing. It's like simple. Like, keep everything as simple as possible. You know?
Okay.
We're gonna go get a character and throw out a bunch of exposition. We already had we had enough exposition from Batman versus Superman. These people are out there. Bruce Wayne and Diana can go fucking find them. They do. That's it. With almost I know who you are. Shit's gonna get fucked up. Help us, because you help people. That's what you do. That's why I'm here. And that's like the whole speech for everybody, you know. And that's like the simplest version.
Okay.
Because I see your wrap it up face.
I didn't say it. I'm letting you go. Okay.
I was like, I'd almost say I want.
I just know when I say okay enough, you're gonna explain exactly what you explained again.
I want the arcs to be prevalent from what happens on screen as they face down the parademons that are coming down, without any fucking talking. I want Batman, Wonder Woman, and the Flash to face down some parademons, and the Flash just goes and fucking saves people because he doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't know how to fight.
That's what he just got into doing.
Yeah, and then like in the next thing,
he wasn't really fighting anybody.
Yeah, I want that to be heard. So they're like, the Flash doesn't fight.
He really doesn't.
And the arc comes.
He really kind of doesn't.
No, and the arc comes from some fight with Superman,
even in the
and
books, he really kind of does.
Well, here's the thing. He
really just pushes.
Even with his arch enemies, he just races them.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, no. Okay, wait.
That's half the time. It's
back on target.
You know, the problem is always
what I want is, and I'll give you character arcs for each person. The Flash, Superman, like Batman, Wonder Woman, and the Flash face down to parademons. Batman sees that the Flash just saves people, so he says, "Just do that. That's all that you have to do." So
sounds like Tony Stark and Spider-Man.
And then we have a fight later on where Flash saves everybody. And he's standing around and he's like, I could do more, so he does more.
You know, it's them ripping off Tony Stark.
Yeah,
and
I
Spider-Man.
know. This is my rewrite.
They did.
This is my rewrite. Let it go. I'm saying for character arc. Yeah, I'm
not saying you're doing it, I'm saying the movie did.
The movie did, but what I'm saying is we have our character arcs visually shown all the time.
Of course.
They go and get Cyborg. You can hack into this and you can find all this information. So Batman and Wonder Woman are like, just do what you can do. And we have like, it'll fall into generic, but like everybody does what they can do, and then they're done and the battle's still going, and they decide to do more. They have that hero moment where my work's done, I could do more, so I'm going to try to do more. They may fail and stumble, but they ultimately win, and that's the point of the whole character arc, is that it's all visual. There's no talking. The talking comes at the beginning where I don't know how to fight. Okay, just save people. And he just saved people. I'm out of saving people. I'm going to try to do something else. You see them get to decide that they're going to do more than just what they've been told. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got
the story is
a minute and a half left to spare.
The best stories are the simplest stories, not even with a twist, but just simple. And this movie was too much. We got to have this thing. We got to have this thing. We got to have that thing. And no, just abandon all that. Just make it as simple as possible. And take all your millions of dollars of CGI and make it fucking beautiful. As opposed to, we need to have more story, we need to have more talking. No, you don't. That's your source material is comic books, which is completely visual. Nobody ever says when they talk about their favorite comic books, I really love when they sat down and talked about the issues. No, I loved how the story played out in a fight that I could see, and I understood what was going on underneath the fight because of the way that it was drawn and what they...
Steppenwolf's not out there talking about ethics, man.
Huh? And don't have Superman grow a mustache.
Yeah, don't have Superman grow a mustache.
Yeah, that's not work.
Doesn't work.
No, it does not.
And use makeup to cover it up, not bad CGI.
Yeah,
or just don't cover it up at all and just have a line of dialogue. They're like, "Yeah, what do you think, guys? You think I can pull this off? I'm gonna try this for a while."
Yeah, but how does he shave?
He's Superman.
Yeah, but how do you shave?
Like this?
Okay, don't forget they have an exhibit where they have a strand of his hair. And it's holding up this giant, 10,000
in the worst
pound.
Superman movie of all time.
Right, I know, but they show it. It's part of the lore. Blame Warner Brothers.
And he just cuts it.
Blame Warner Brothers. It's a strand of his hair.
It's a 2 or 3 tons.
Yeah, it's like 3 tons.
Yeah.
And it's in a museum.
Well, how does he get his hair cut?
That's my point. I don't know how they got the hair.
Go down this this tunnel of logic. Then.
I think he pulled it out, handed it to them, and they were like, "We can't break this. We can pull an aircraft carrier with this." How did you pull that out? Oh, that's right, you're Superman. But it's part of lore because, unfortunately...
Wait, is Gene Wilder still alive?
No. Unfortunately, DC...
He needs a Tarkin cameo.
Have some crappy DC movies in their history. Marvel doesn't have that much. They really don't. So they got to break new ground.
Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2.
I like the Incredible Hulk. The Hulk, I had a problem with.
Yeah, and that wasn't Marvel.
Yeah, because you can't do a deep...
Incredible Hulk. It was Ed Norton, and at the end you see him talking to Tony Stark.
Well,
with the general.
With the Hulk.
Yeah, but that was a Marvel movie that came out right around the same time as Iron Man 1, but they don't want to acknowledge it anymore.
Because
they
John,
replaced Ed Norton.
Well, John, you know this.
That's what they say. I believe him.
Can I say, since we're now talking about the Hulk movies, that we should probably just wrap it up?
Well, okay.
Yeah, we probably should.
We should wrap it up, but John, you know this.
What do I know?
The Hulk movies in the Marvel Universe.
I have some very strong opinions on Hulk.
No, they start with that first Hulk movie.
Yeah, with Banner.
Yeah, they start with Banner because he ends in the jungle in South America, and then the first Incredible Hulk, which is one of the 2 movies that came out. He's in South America living.
I know, but
they're tied together.
I know, but who starts with that?
No, you can't do a deep emotional exploration of a character who just beats up everything that he sees. Yeah.
Okay, so we're ending our discussion of Justice League.
I know, with the Hulk.
Yeah, with the Hulk, and that's fine.
I'm happy to do that.
That's fine.
I'm happy to do that because the Hulk movie, just labeled the Hulk, wasn't really Marvel Studios making that.
Yeah, I know.
That was who owns the Hulk?
But it is tied all the way back. Universal.
Who sadly still owns the Hulk?
Yeah, Universal.
There you go.
That's why there'll never be a solo Hulk movie.
And that's the Universal movie, and that went nowhere.
But it is all tied together. If you want to start the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you have to start with that shitty Hulk movie with Eric Bana.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Are we calling it a night?
Okay, so wrapping up Justice League. Final thoughts on Justice League, everybody?
Back on target. I'd say see it.
Back on target. I said right.
I'd say see it matinee.
See it matinee.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's a solid B minus.
Yeah.
Solid B minus.
Yeah.
I already said I'm a C plus
Saturday
plus.
matinee
Yeah.
movie.
But considering most of the movies that DC is putting out are you think are going to be A's and they turn out to be C minuses, B minus ain't so bad.
Yeah, it's actually.
Dark Knight, but it's not Suicide Squad
It's actually,
either.
and I'll expand this out to the 3 word. It's good job, team.
Yeah.
They're learning.
That's about it.
They're
It was a
getting
good team.
there.
With completely sympathetic and like we know you could do better, but good job because you got it
They're
done.
getting there.
Yeah.
They're getting there. They got to get past all these crap that they've been having to put out so far.
Let's call it a night.
Yeah,
Good night, everyone.
That's the end of it. That's the very end. There you go.
Back to your cats in the internet.
Back to the cat videos. Back to the cat videos you go. Press the button. Press the button. Back to the cat videos.
All in.